it's the opportunity for the second division to take centre stage here at Old Trafford. Keighley Cougars, the champions of Division 2, take on Huddersfield, the team with the best home record throughout the last campaign. Match referee for this shootout in the second division is Russell Smith, the brand new referee of the year. It's his fourth season in the big league, 2 Wembleys, and now here he is at Old Trafford. It's Keighley against Huddersfield, the Stones Premiership second division final. Huddersfield, in the shape of Steve Kerry, get the action underway, and these two sides have waited a long time to get to centre stage here. Martin Wood for Keighley with the first drive downfield. The Keighley side, Stoop, Ayres, Pinkney, second division player of the year, Nick Pinkney. Irving's the captain, Dixon, Powell and Appleby. Chris Robinson's got ligament damage. Hill, Ramshaw, Gately, Fleary, Cochrane and Wood. And on the bench, David Larder, the son of the Keighley coach, and Shane Tupai. Keighley, champions, anxious to get on with it. Big Brendan Hill, but he just overran the pass inside to him from his hooker Jason Ramshaw. Huddersfield then in possession. Here's their team: Helliwell, Barton, Shelford, Austin the captain, Reynolds, Hanger and Kerry. And it's King, St Hilaire, Pusil, Richards, Senior and Pearce. And on the bench it's Mick Taylor and Gary Coulter. And great to see George Fairbairn back in the big time. Little half-back, Dean Hanger with the drive upfield. That tackle count, by the way, in the top corner, remember, it shows consecutive metres gained by the team shown from the point where they first took over possession of the football.
Nice kick there from Greg Austin, realising the importance to apply the pressure. He's been around a while, tremendous servant to this game in this country.
Sun starts to beam down on Old Trafford as the winger Keith Dixon takes the first tackle. Here's Martin Wood again. This Keighley side, Steve-O, they've all had a visit to the barbers in the past 24 hours, and they've got special Premiership final day haircuts for us.
It's a tribute to the hairstyle of the future, I might add.
Just now, though, it's a penalty to Keighley, and let's go pitch side to Bill Arthur for some news.
Well, the game only just underway, and already Keighley could have a bit of a problem. There's slight concern about Brendan Hill. He doesn't seem to be moving too freely, although he took the ball up quite fiercely there. They've already got Shane Tapia warming up, and they're just a bit concerned down on the touchline about Brendan Hill's fitness. The other concern that Keighley have had is that at their hotel this morning they ran out of baked beans, and there weren't enough baked beans to go round, so all Phil Larder's meticulous preparations came unstuck at that point.
This is Darryl Powell. Darryl Powell, the £100,000 signing for the Cougars from Sheffield Eagles. He has got Old Trafford experience before. Now Gately will dab the ball through. Chance here, and shuttling across was the fullback Helliwell. Andre Stoop was the man who chimed into the line for the Cougars.
Oh, it was a beautiful kick through there by the big forward Gately. Andre Stoop was coming across, but Phil Helliwell just got the boot to it there. The kicking game is prominent early.
Cougars with the possession. That was Powell. This is Irving, and Stoop again on the run around. But the referee has pulled Cougars back. He said it was a shepherd. Stoop thought he was on his way.
It certainly was. He used Darren Appleby to run through. Appleby turned his back, and you can't do that. A chance gone begging. They had the overlap there, Keighley.
Brendan Hill's gone off to be replaced by Shane Tupai. It was a late announcement that Hill would play. Phil Larder this week was very concerned about the big man. Eventually gave him the opportunity, and he's lasted, what, 4 minutes? Hamstring problems for Brendan Hill. We won't see him again this afternoon, I fancy.
That should have been a penalty. That was definitely reaped out. Darren Fleary got the fingertips to it. It was missed by Russell Smith, the referee. You clearly see the ball dragged down by the second rower.
It's Keighley in possession. That's Ian Gately, Australian prop forward. This now is Powell. Powell, very useful man to have in your side at this level. Appleby was feeding off him there, but Powell, as I say that, drops the ball.
Took his eyes off the football. There you see he pointed to his teammates. Sorry, I just took my eyes off. Loss of concentration there. Pretty hard pass, but he should take that. There you see it ricochets on the face. He was looking at the defence. Greg Pearce was honing in.
Huddersfield then in possession. Third division champions under Alex Murphy in 1992. That was their first trophy in 17 years. And of course, Keighley won the third division under Peter Rowe in 1993. Two clubs here who really have benefited under the three-division system that we revert back to for Super League. The scrum half there is Steve Kerry, former Salford man. The ball went backwards. This now is Darryl Shelford, formerly Bradford Northern, New Zealander. The size there of Dave King, the prop forward for Huddersfield. Good tackling though by this Cougars defence. And Kerry thinks about a drop goal, and it's first blood to Huddersfield. Steve Kerry, his fourth one-pointer of the season.
Good thinking by the little halfback. Come away with at least 1 point. Plenty of experience there. Steve Kerry snaps the one-pointer.
Well, man of the match for Salford in the 1991 victory over Halifax in this second division final. Steve Kerry, a man with immense experience. That's the way they got to this final. Keighley beating Hull Kingston Rovers and London.
Good tackle there from Martin Wood. Long, deep kick. Chase was there. It needs to be as well.
Darren Fleary with the run for Huddersfield, who beat Rochdale and Batley on the way to Old Trafford. The winger is Simon Reynolds. He plays the ball quickly to the hooker, St. Hilaire, and he immediately gets the play moving down the right-hand side with the second rower, Senior. Now the prop forward, Andy Pusil. Wrestled to the floor by Gareth Cochran. And Greg Pearce under real pressure from Powell. He got the kick in and he hasn't moved.
He's on as a touch judge. Powell came in late. He really took it, did Greg Pearce. Powell just used the shoulder charge. Nothing onto the head. But the referee will give the penalty. Just a little bit too late. Looked perhaps a little bit worse than what it actually was. Either way, the big loose forward, Greg Pearce, is shaken up from it.
Pearce thankfully gets to his feet. Darryl Powell takes the lecture from Russell Smith. And this will be a Huddersfield penalty. Yes, from where the ball ended up. Referee gives Huddersfield the penalty. St. Hilaire just waiting to decide what's going to be done, and eventually he's tossed the ball into the arms of Greg Pearce, the Huddersfield goal kicker. And so Pearce, with the marbles no doubt rolling round his head, now has to get his senses together for this penalty attempt.
Use of the elbows, just perhaps that little push. Now where the ball was taken by the fullback, Andre Stoop, that's where the referee, Russell Smith, gives the penalty for any indiscretions in back play.
So Greg Pearce, the sand bucket arrives eventually. 95 goals for the Australian this season. Needs 3 to pass the 100 mark because he's got 2 drop goals as well. Needs 14 points for 1,000 in British football, Greg Pearce. This could be the first 2 of them. Referee Russell Smith in the background calling the time back on. Keighley Cougars crowd trying to put him off. Pearce with the kick, and he's got the 2. Keighley 0, Huddersfield 3. Darryl Powell just left to reflect on the late challenge that produced that penalty for Huddersfield.
Not happy about it either. He thought it was fair and square, but the fact that he went in with the elbows together perhaps was deemed that a little bit dangerous.
It's Huddersfield who will try and work this ball out. Senior just taking the tackle. Huge figure of a man is Dave King, the prop forward.
He's a giant of a man, isn't he? And that's perhaps why Phil Larder wanted to take the gamble with Brendan Hill to try to offset that huge frame from Dave King, making advantage over.
It's the last tackle here for Huddersfield, so Kerry will have to kick, using the wide open spaces here at Old Trafford. Underneath it is full-back Stoop. He's got Andy Ayres there with him. Andy, the brother of Leeds' Richie Ayres, who's taken part already in the First Division final that you've seen here on Sky Sports. Early possession, 60-40 in favour of Huddersfield. Tackle was completed standing up on Gareth Cochrane. This now is Darren Fleary. He picks it up, plays the ball to Ramshaw, who finds Ian Gately. Gately will put his whole body there behind the football and gain good ground for the Cougars. Not really started terribly brightly, the Keighley Cougars so far. Huddersfield ahead, 3 points to 0. Fullback Helliwell will run this ball to the 20-metre line.
Well, the kick was good right into the corner, but I'm afraid the chase was somewhat slow. They've got to get down and just pen them in that corner to make it an advantage.
Keighley trying to become the 5th successive team to lift the second division title and the Premiership here at Old Trafford. Huddersfield, though, they've come into this match on the back of some magnificent form. The best home record in the second division, and only 2 defeats in the year of 1995 so far. Finished 3rd in the table. Darryl Shelford. They made 43 metres, Huddersfield, on this set of 6. And they might make a little bit more now as Dean Hanger clips the ball downfield.
Not the best kick, and that was brought about because the chase was on. That was great work by Keighley then.
More good work here from the captain, Simon Irving, and that's a fierce haircut that Irving's had.
Pretty solid defence, though, from Huddersfield. They're moving up in a straight line. Keighley, to their credit, they're trying to run the angles.
Good tackling, good work around the play the ball area from Steve Kerry. That was on the second rower, Gareth Cochrane. Little dab through, and good ground made by Keighley on that set of 6.
Gave himself a lot of space, the loose forward Wood. Kicks into the corner, hoping for the mistake. Huddersfield, head and ball. Pretty tense moments out there, but nerves not on display as yet.
Nothing to choose between these two sides over the course of the season. Keighley won 15-10 on New Year's Eve. They drew 20 all at Cougar Park on Easter Monday, and Huddersfield had a big win in the Challenge Cup, 30 points to 0.
Well, the second rower, Gareth Cochrane, getting penalised for what appeared to be a pretty fair tackle. He looks at referee Russell Smith and said, surely I hit the shoulder. On the replay, I have to agree with him.
Huddersfield in possession. Dave King again, trying to drive his way straight through Martin Wood. That's great yardage by the big Australian prop forward King. Here now is Andy Pusil. Good tackling by the two Keighley men in very quickly. One of them the substitute, Shane Tupai, the other Jason Ramshaw. And now this again is Pusil. Fleary and Wood, the men to bring him down. Dave King at dummy half. Gets it to Hanger, and he runs the run around with Kerry. That's a great tackle on the full-back, Halliwell. And here go Keighley.
It was a great tackle, but I'm afraid he's gone down hurt. He caught a stray knee there, and he's flat on his back in the back play.
Shane Tupai now, and Huddersfield caught offside. Referee gave the Cougars the opportunity to make advantage, none forthcoming.
Craig Austin tried to sneak in, and he didn't make the 10 back.
Just checking round, Steve-O, I think it is the kicker, Simon Irving, the Keighley Cougars captain, who is the man flat out after that tackle on Phil Halliwell.
It was a great tackle. He spotted it at the right moment, but I think a stray knee just knocked him around a little.
Well, there's the kicker, Simon Irving, who's been in great form this season with the boot, former Leeds man, and here's the tackle. It was a great tackle, but he as you say, Steve-O, as he comes over the top, Halliwell, I think he just jarred his shoulder.
Took the wind right out of him.
Well, he has a touch of the magic drink and the smelling salts. It's Martin Wood who will take this attempt at goal for the Cougars to get them off the mark.
Either way, it was a great tackle that made Halliwell spill the football. Gives them this opportunity to get first points on the board for the Cougars.
15 goals for Martin Wood this season. Third Division Player of the Year with Keighley in 93, I beg your pardon. And on the wing for Halifax in the Division 2 Premiership final of 1991. So another man with Old Trafford experience for the Cougars. Well, Simon Irving is the man they want to kick their goals, not Martin Wood. He's missed that. That would have been 2 points for Keighley had Irving not been flat on his back and receiving treatment the other end.
That could be costly late in the football game. That really could go against them, and he knows it. The loose forward Wood knows that he should have slotted that away.
Andre Stoop. It was a great chase by Fleary and also by Dean Hanger to, Richard and Dean Hanger to bring him down. Let's go downstairs now. Bill Arthur's got Brendan Hill with him.
Brendan Hill lasted about 4 minutes. Brendan, was that a gamble that backfired maybe?
No, I've trained well all week and I've gone all right. It's just a reoccurrence from Ulkihar game, that's all. Hamstring. I pulled it out there when I drove ball in, but it's the way it goes, isn't it?
I mean, that must be desperately disappointing to get. Well, you've come this far and then your last 4 minutes.
I'm devastated. I mean, you know, trained well all week. It's just one of them things. So, yeah, it's the way to be. I sit here and watch it.
It really doesn't seem to be going well for you, because there where you get a penalty, your goal kicker, who never misses, Simon Irving, is flat out.
Yeah, well, he set up for a big hit and just caught on side of him, didn't he? Took a bad bang on side of head. But we just haven't got in ribbon at the moment. We'll get there eventually.
Brendan, thanks very much.
Brendan Hill watching as his Cougars teammate Jason Ramshaw concedes the penalty, bang in front of the post to Huddersfield, who lead 3-0, and from this range it should be 5-0 in a couple of seconds' time. Brendan Hill pulling his hamstring early on in this cup final, and of course Steve Bruce doing the same for Manchester United in the FA Cup final yesterday. Difference being, Steve-O, that Phil Larder got Brendan Hill out of the way early, whereas Alex Ferguson decided to leave Bruce on.
Well, we'll have to see how it pans out, but controversial decision to at least try to take a risk.
So Greg Pearce with the penalty attempt. Flags go up. And Huddersfield off to a great start here, 5 points to nil against the Keighley champions from Division 2.
They just keep pegging away, and the way that these defenders have been tackling so far, no clean breaks as yet. So it's important that you take the opportunities with the... Oh, and that's a bad mistake. That really will set them back. Keith Dixon making a real meal of this. Well, we mentioned that nerves were not on display in the early minutes, but I'm afraid nearly midway through this first half, Keighley are just rocking slightly.
Yes, disruption to their plans with Hill off. That's a penalty, of course, to Huddersfield on the halfway line, because the kick-off sailed out on the full. So they're a little bit at 6s and 7s at the moment, the champions. And Huddersfield, in their first major final since the year of 1962, when they were at Wembley, are on a bit of a roll here with Andy Pusil. Midway through this first half, he's on the 20-metre line. They've made 30 metres so far in this set of 6. Only 4 metres on that tackle. Can they make a bit more ground here now? This is Dean Hanger. Last tackle it is. No ground gained, but a drop goal attempt from Greg Austin. And Greg Austin has kicked a one-pointer here. The man with 52 tries proves he's got a boot as well.
Well taken, runs off from the dummy half position. Wonderful positioning there by Russell Smith, the referee. And the Australian, calm, cool and collected. The game plan from Huddersfield coach George Fairbairn. Take the opportunity, don't come away with nothing. That's the second one-pointer they've got. And I'm sure that it will prove vital as this game continues.
Second row, Gary Senior driving that ball in. Ahead by 6 points to nil, and Dave King showing up very early on here in this match. The Huddersfield prop forward, number 8.
I've been very impressed with the front row of Huddersfield. King, Saint-Hilaire and Pusil. They've worked hard, and there's George Fairbairn. He'll be quite happy with the start.
Great drive then from Basil Richards into the Cougars' half of the field. Austin was the dummy half, and proving he really has got to boot the Australian centre. That's a great kick. That's a super kick. It almost stayed in and forced Keighley to run the ball out, but it just sighed its way over the line in the end.
Well, he knows that Keighley are a little bit rattled at the moment. So punching the ball into the corner, and he's got so much experience, he's been around a while, knows the importance of applying the pressure.
Greg Austin, of course, one of 3 men in the Huddersfield team with previous Old Trafford experience. Senior and Kerry the others. Whereas if you want Old Trafford experience, look no further than the Cougars. Powell in possession now. Hill, who's off. Ramshaw, Wood, Tupai, Cochrane and Stoop. But at the moment, they can't get going, the Cougars, and this is Dean Hanger. Hanger down the line, and in the end, a foot in touch.
Well, it was an impossible pass there from Nick Pinkney. No way in the world that Andre Stoop was going to get towards that. They're just pushing the pass far too soon. It's panic football, I'm afraid, from the Cougars. But Hanger just brushed the line there. Well spotted by the touch judge.
Keith Dixon picks himself up, plays the ball. Cougars wanting to get on with this quickly. Darryl Powell, though, just running down a blind alley, but now he makes a bit of space for himself, and then he's driven back. Great tackle by Saint-Hilaire.
It's great defence. They're just giving Keighley no chance to get going. Every time Darryl Powell's got the ball, 2-3 men converge.
Picked up off the floor one-handed by Jason Ramshaw. That's a good run from the Keighley Cougars hooker. That's more like it, and he's looking for the penalty, and Russell Smith says get up and play the ball. Martin Wood dumped it over the top. It takes a little knock off the arms of Pearce, and the referee said it went backwards, and Huddersfield have got the ball back courtesy of Shelford.
Did well there, did the loose forward Pearce. The neat little chip over the top. Wood thought he was going to get to it, but it slowed the ball down enough for Shelford to take it in. They're running hot, Huddersfield. They're using their forwards very strong and then using the link out wide afterwards.
Here's Steve Kerry. He finds Dean Hanger, who just nips one over the top and invites the winger Barton to have a run. But it was a bit too quick for Barton. Found touch, but Hanger making cheap yards.
The tactics are superb. They are turning Keighley around on every occasion, ensuring that they play out their full complement of 6, and that's important in a final.
Scrum goes down then. It's Keighley's head and feed. Appleby, he gets the possession, and this is Keith Dixon now. And Greg Austin, by the way, 52 tries this season, and the 1-pointer he got early, only the second of Greg Austin's long and illustrious career. Good hard run from Fleary, good support too, arriving there from Nick Pinkney.
Much better play from the Cougars now. They're running onto the football. They were a little bit stagnant to start with.
Appleby takes the tackle from Austin, plays the ball quickly to Andy Ayres. He finds Pinkney, and here's Keighley. Last tackle, 44 metres. That's what the Cougars have made on that set. The ball goes high in the air. Underneath it is Simon Reynolds. It bounces back off his chest. It's 6 to go. And Andy Ayres has got it for Keighley. This is a big opportunity now for the Cougars.
Oh, they made a real meal of that. Reynolds and Halliwell went for the same football, and it was too late. Someone should have shouted, it's mine.
Great defence, though, from Huddersfield on Cochrane. Ramshaw's the dummy half. He gives it to Tupai. This Huddersfield defence will be tested now for almost the first time in the match. Appleby to Powell. He finds Pinkney. Pinkney, of course, second division player of the year, England international. There's another England international. Powell to Appleby. Here's the Namibian stoop, and this now is Ayres, who's in touch. Super defence again from Huddersfield. They got out of jail after the mistake by Reynolds, the winger.
He may have dropped the football, but Reynolds certainly did his mark there. Look how he offered him a chance to go on the outside. Upper body strength. That is great defence there. There was nowhere for Ayres to go. Well, Huddersfield have weathered the storm.
Here's Greg Pearce. Oh, and Powell on Pearce again. Pearce knows that Powell's around. Here's Shelford.
What a great tackle there. Powell really surged onto the big Australian. But the tactics from Huddersfield are superb. There's a possession. All Huddersfield at the moment.
And making good meters as well on their sets of 6. That's the last. They're still in their own half this time, though, having made only 30 meters so far. Ball straight up in the air from Kerry. Not the best kick. Bounces into the arms of Appleby. He gets it away to Ayres. Ayres tries to launch a Keighley Cougars attack.
That was a beautiful pass there from Appleby. Close attention from the big prop forward Dave King, and he got it away to the winger. It's starting to open up now. Pretty warm out there.
Good run from Dixon, and watched all the way by Lee St. Hilaire. This now is Keighley. He gets the ball away to Irving, and Irving loses it. Simon Irving, I wonder if he's still feeling the effects of that heavy crunch early on.
Well, I'm not so sure that he lost it.
The ball was stolen.
Daryl Shelford, without doubt. And the skipper, Irving, looks at the referee and then at the touch judge. Quite clearly, the New Zealander Shelford reefing the football out. It can be so cruel at times.
That's what you call big league experience, isn't it? And Shelford, he's been, of course, in higher echelons with Bradford Northern amongst others. Pearce is grounded on the halfway line. Here come Huddersfield again with their second row senior. Attracts 2 men to him, Wood and Fleary. St. Hilaire into the arms of Kerry. Kerry says to King, have another run. and King obliges, and then plays the ball to himself. Cheeky play from the prop forward. And that's the last tackle.
Well, he just lost his marbles a little bit there. He may have gained advantage, but Huddersfield would have been better suited to use the kick instead of the prop forward tapping it to himself. They lost a golden opportunity there to push the Cougars back into the corner again.
But now Appleby is in the Huddersfield half of the field. They've made 26 metres in 2 tackles. They're starting to get going, Keighley, and they have the penalty as Powell tried to get to his feet, and there's a real battle between Pearce and Powell developing out there.
Well, this was a silly penalty to give away there by the loose forward Pearce. No doubt about it. There was no chance that Powell could get on and play the ball quickly. That's what he wanted to do. And we must be getting pretty close to Russell Smith having a few words to these players now. No interference at the play of the ball. Professional foul.
So penalty to Keighley, and Simon Irving, who arrived from Leeds in September, just 2 points behind Frano Botica on the points chart before the start of play today. 148 goals, 384 points for the season. Irving with a chance here to get Keighley's day at Old Trafford well and truly underway. Wood, of course, missed with the earlier penalty. This is the chance for Irving to show what he can do. No problem for Irving. 149 goals now for Simon Irving, and 2 points for Keighley today. Huddersfield 6.
That should settle the ship somewhat. Beautiful kick from Simon Irving.
(6-2) Huddersfield ahead then, and Kerry will restart. And Martin Wood will run the ball out for Keighley Cougars. They became the Cougars in 1991, and it really has been a tremendous success story for them in Keighley since then. Gates have risen from 400 to well over 4,000, and here they are now at Old Trafford as second division champions and looking for the double, and starting, Steve-O, to find their Old Trafford Premiership final feat.
A little bit shaky, as you mentioned, to start with, but they're getting over that advantage line now. They really have stepped up another gear. They needed to as well.
Appleby with a super run, support from Wood. He tries to step inside Hellywell and does, and Wood gets there. The kick from Irving has started something for Cougars, and Wood with the try. What a lovely little run though from Appleby to set him up.
The support play was superb. Appleby running the angles, uses the dummy runner, he used the hooker back on the inside, but what great support and what a good step. He really did step on the gas here. That is a great try. Notice the dummy runner, Appleby runs the angle, uses the hooker on the inside. Powell again skirts onto it, but what a wonderful offload. Stepped at the right time, not the best attempted tackle. He knew he was going for it. Great work.
Great try from Martin Wood, his 20th of the season, right under the post here at Old Trafford. And interestingly enough, on their set of tackles there, on 5 tackles, Keighley made 100 metres. They went from one end of the field to the other. So the score's now level, 6 points each, and this to give Keighley the lead for the first time here at Old Trafford. From bang in front, this should be Irving's 150th successful kick of the season, and it is. And so the Cougars hit the front, 8-6.
Two dummy runners on the inside, and the arc run just pulls the defence to him. You can see the half gap. Two men went for the same person. Appleby's offload was superb. So was a step from Martin Wood. And this game has come alight.
Martin Wood with the try. He was on the wing, as I said earlier, for Halifax here in 1991. And suddenly the Cougars have started to put their nerves behind them.
It's all a matter of building your confidence. Came about from that penalty from Irving. Now they've posted a try.
Nick Pinkney scampers away from dummy half. Watched all the way by St. Hilaire. Gary Senior coming in. Senior looking across to the touch judge. Wasn't happy about something.
He thought he caught a stray elbow. Maybe not so stray either.
Possession has swung back towards Keighley in the last 5 or 10 minutes. Here's Darryl Powell. Darryl Powell steps inside, gets the pass away clearly. Huddersfield's defence here has it all on now. Drop goal attempt from Ramshaw, and he's kicked the one-pointer. Jason Ramshaw, his third drop goal of the campaign.
Anything Huddersfield can do, so can I. Beautiful time kick. Rampaging runs from Keighley. They are getting over the advantage line with ease now. What was a very strong Huddersfield defence, quite a few of the players are dropping off tackles now.
So Kerry restarts once more. 9-6, the champions lead. And Keith Dixon runs that ball out to the tackle of Shelford. Martin Wood, try-scorer, picks himself up, plays the ball to Ramshaw. Scorer the drop goal. Support is there from Powell. Powell dragging 3 men up towards the halfway line with him.
Great support play. They're working hard for each other now.
Gately gets it away to Stoop. Stoop dabs it through. It's come up for Stoop. Oh, that's tremendous play from Andre Stoop. It bounced perfectly. Ayres is the dummy half. Keighley on a roll here. Appleby to Simon Irving. Back to Powell. Powell gives it to Pinkney. Pinkney to Gately. Gately through for Stoop again. And it's the foot there of Simon Reynolds that just hacks the ball dead for Huddersfield.
Beautiful kick through from Andre Stoop. He really left Simon Reynolds for dead there. The speed fortunately came back. The kick through was not on. But they must have made over 80 metres there, Keighley, in their set of 6. That was absolutely superb play. Well, it was Huddersfield that was running hot in the early exchanges, but the Cougars, they're baring their teeth now.
And you're right, Steve-O, they've started to get across that advantage line. For the try, they made 100 metres, and for that near try, it started just 10 metres from their own line.
And that only comes about with good, solid, hard work. The forwards were very slow in the opening 10 minutes, but they really are starting to get into it now. Little runs from the hooker, Jason Ramshaw at dummy half. That's confusing the defence.
Good movement from this Keighley side now. Powell there finding Pinkney. Pinkney taking the tackle of 2 Huddersfield defenders. Powell again, he's at the heart of everything here. And he saw a little gap, and then he flopped the ball over the top to Ayres. He gets away from Reynolds, and Ayres went without the ball. Referee's called the knock on.
Not happy with it either.
Looks like his brother, doesn't he, Andy?
Sure did. He just forgot to connect.
I mean, facially looks like the brother. I don't mean in the play like that, Steve-O, by the way. That's in case the Ayres family's listening tonight.
Well, he knew what option he wanted to take. Just missed it completely, a bit like one of your golf swings, Eddie.
You've been watching. Kerry.
These are tough times now for Huddersfield. They can hang on and go into the break, sort a few things out. They were very dominant, but Keighley have really stepped up a gear. No doubt the message went out from the coach, Phil Larder, that they're a little bit lazy.
Well, this first all-Yorkshire Premiership final of any kind here at Old Trafford, living up to expectations and living up to the history of this second division final at this famous ground. There have been some tremendous encounters over the years, and it looks like we've got another one underway here now.
Good play there by the sweeper, Darren Appleby, and it had to be as well. The hooker, Senilea, went on the blind side.
Stoop, he's been chiming into the line, hasn't he? All afternoon, Andre Stoop. Ramshaw gets the ball away to Dixon, who's infield and hunting for work, the Keighley winger.
Geez, it looked a little bit late, swinging over the top from Kerry Senior then. Looking to get away with that. Another major factor as well, Eddie, with this Keighley outfit is that Daryl Powell is standing a little bit deeper now, taking the first man, and he's bringing in Nick Pinkney a lot tighter.
Kick downfield, it was on the last tackle, and Reynolds has to run the ball out. The chasers arrived, though, Tupai and Ramshaw. Keighley hanging onto the shirt tails of Pearce, but Keighley are caught offside.
He played the advantage.
Ian Keighley playing his 99th game for the Cougars today.
You see, Russell Smith had quite a few to choose from. But it was a good half break there.
And Huddersfield looking for something as we enter stoppage time, first half. That was Andy Pusil. This now is Steve Kerry. Here's Basil Richards. And Dave King started so well. Still going, King! Look at the strength of King! He's held up all that effort, and all they'll get is head and feet at the scrum. But the way King kept pounding at the ground then.
Determined run there. And good play by Martin Wood, who helped twist him over, along with the second rower, Darren Fleary. But what great strength. Either way, in the dying seconds of this first half, Huddersfield will get the head and feed, and surely they'll put on a set move. Seconds are ticking away when the referee puts time back on. They can't afford to mess around, Huddersfield. They've got to do a set move.
Jason Ramshaw, the hooker, is the man receiving treatment. That's why the referee has waited to put this scrum down.
Keep an eye out for Phil Halliwell, maybe coming back on the blind side.
Kerry scampers away from the base of the scrum, gives it to Darryl Shelford. Darryl Shelford trying to use all his experience, gets it away to Kerry. Kerry keeps the movement going. It's the prop forward, Pusil, who hits the deck 2 meters short of the line. Kerry's there again, misses out one man, finds Richards. Richards has got Reynolds in support. Reynolds tries to go around Keighley, and Tupai, the man, Fleary rather, the man to bring him down. King again for the line. Held up, great defence from Keighley. Now Dean Hanger. Oh, he bounced it off the chest of the supporting player.
The chant went begging. The second rower, Gary Senior, just took his eyes off the football at a crucial moment. What a mistake in the dying seconds of this first half. Desperately needing points, but great scrambling defence from Keighley.
So now Darren Appleby will try and run the ball out away from his own line for Keighley. 3 minutes of stoppage time played in this first half. Martin Wood, who grabbed the try that has edged Keighley ahead. Fleary now breaks one tackle, tries to get away from a second, but that was a great chase back from fullback Halliwell. Ramshaw will dink one into the corner looking for Ayres. Kerry's there, and he just, Aussie rule style, just pats the ball in the crowd.
Kerry was hoping that the ball would go dead in goal. He knew it was going to just bobble there. A lot of traffic were arriving.
So 4 minutes of stoppage time played in this first half. Referee Russell Smith's been calling time off all the way through this first half, and this now is Dixon.
What an effort though from the Keighley loose forward Martin Wood. He's everywhere, both in attack and defence.
Here he is again. There's half a minute to go, we hear from the sidelines. In fact, that's half-time. So Keighley go in. Andre Stoop, their fullback, has chimed into the line at every opportunity, and they go in with a 9-6 advantage. Darryl Powell, who's played in this divisional final twice before, and Greg Pearce. That's been a great battle, and it's got all the makings, this, of a sensational second half to come. It couldn't be much tighter. Martin Wood's try, the difference between the two sides at the end of the day, and the kicking of Simon Irving. It's Keighley 9, Huddersfield 6. It's half-time in the second division Premiership final, and Keighley, the second division champions, lead Huddersfield 9-6. They've scored the only try from Martin Wood, their loose forward. And Keighley, playing their first final since the 1951 Yorkshire Cup final, just have their noses in front. Simon Irving, their captain, dreaming of the moment he'll walk up the steps at Old Trafford and pick up that second division Premiership trophy. So 9-6 it is, the Stones Bitter Premiership shootout in Division 2. And this match most certainly up for the winning in this second half. There's Basil Richards with the first drive of the second 40, making 13 metres ground for his team, Huddersfield. And Huddersfield having the dream start to the game, but Keighley gradually wearing them down and coming back into the match. And Steve-O, they finished the first half strongly, the Cougars.
Yes, they'll be been happy to go in at the break, get their coach Phil Larder to give them a few words of wisdom. They really did start getting over that advantage line, and this Huddersfield defence, which was exceptionally strong in the first 20 minutes, just started to roll off the tackles a bit.
And Andre Stoop, the former Wigan fullback, of course, he played that ball, or attempted to, and nipping in round the side was Gary Puchil, Andy Puchil.
Good thinking by the big prop forward there. There was no halfback. They could pay the price here.
And he wasn't offside, and he was standing square, says referee Russell Smith. That's why Huddersfield have got the possession here. They're inside the Keighley quarter with Dean Hanger, strong run, and he was met fair and square by Fleary.
That was a great tackle from the second rower. You've got to look at this Huddersfield side, and they're obviously going to use the big prop forward, Dave King. He's a man that could get them back on into the lead.
The kick from Pearce was far too strong.
He won't be happy with that. He knows that it was too much weight. The option was good. Andre Stoop took an eternity to get over there.
Here's Gately now for the Cougars. Ramshaw to Appleby and Fleary. And Fleary breaks one tackle, and it was a great ankle tap by Pusil, and it had to be. Now second rower Gareth Cochran, he's only 20. Gets the pass away, and this is the centre, Nick Pinkney, and Pinkney confirms all the class of the second division player of the year. A new record for a centre. Nick Pinkney's 46th try of the season.
Huddersfield went for the intercept, and Pinkney blasted through. Greg Austin was caught short there, trying to intercept the football, while the youngster Nick Pinkney in for a sensational try. You just cannot afford to try to take the intercept. The Australian Greg Austin shakes his head way back downfield, whilst Pinkney picks up a vital try.
Nick Pinkney, tremendous player, great prospect. He's only 24. He's an England international, an under-21 international, and his 46th try of the year. And it just pushes the Cougars further towards glory. Now Simon Irving, 2 from 2 today. That's 150 for the season for Simon Irving. Taking his time, and rightly so. Irving's kick's on its way, and Irving's kick's a cracker. 15-6 to the champions.
There's Greg Austin, is circled, going for the intercept. He fails to accept the football. Nick Pinkney doesn't though, and look at the speed. He really did get into top gear early. No chance of any Huddersfield player getting anywhere near him. Super stuff.
So Pinkney's try, a little bit of daylight now between Keighley and Huddersfield. Kerry restarts. And Fleary will run this ball back.
Really has exploded, hasn't he? The second row of Darren Fleary. He's had some great runs. But this man, for mine, has been the fellow that's put them back on the right keel. Martin Wood has been everywhere.
And Darryl Powell starting to take a hand now as well. Stoop is there. He tried to get the pass away to Appleby. And the referee has called the knock on. There it was, just off the hip of Appleby.
Wasn't the best pass. Went behind the little halfback. Appleby knows it too. A few words were exchanged. Andre Stoop looked at him and said, "Sorry, mate." He was well and truly away. Was a little halfback, Appleby. Plenty of space before him.
Greg Pearce now, and Huddersfield, all their 6 points have come from the boot of Pearce, the boot of Kerry and Austin. They haven't crossed for a try yet, but Basil Richards with all the strength in the world. And Hanger was a little bit too fancy then. He fooled his own man.
He caught one as well. It was a shoulder. It was all fair. Keighley went well and truly into him. But that's the second occasion that Huddersfield have made a bad mistake. But that's good defence.
Martin Woods almost had the shirt pulled off his back. In fact, he has had the shirt pulled off his back.
Momentum. Never stops, so he can do that.
Greg Austin, the Australian centre who's hunting for more tries here this afternoon. He's had a wonderful run, 52 before he came into this match. Needs 1 for a new record for a centre. There he is, taking that tackle. Huddersfield need to score quickly. Keighley know that, that's why they're tackling like demons as Hanger tried to slip that pass. Here's Kerry. And Gary Senior gets the pass away to Richards.
Huddersfield having a lot of they're having a lot of trouble getting this ball out wide, and that's because of the defence from Keighley. That's a good kick though, well left though by Andre Stoop.
He took a chance, and the chance came off because the ball was popping up.
Little halfback chipped over the top there, but Stoop was well aware it was too strong. But this Keighley defence now is moving up so quickly. The two centres, Pinkney and Irving, they're moving that quick. They're forcing Huddersfield down that central corridor.
Here's Tupai, met fairly and squarely by Dave King. Now Gately, tackled by Shelford. 2 little cameos there, Aussies against Kiwis. Appleby, dumped to the ground. Gary Senior doing the tackling. Here's Powell, straightening it up, Powell. Might have dropped a division, Darryl Powell, after his move from Sheffield Eagles. He's lost none of his class. And the kick from Ramshaw, perfect.
Nickname Ram, and he certainly rammed it home on that occasion. Picked his spot perfectly. He knows how it's important to force the issue around. It was Huddersfield that was doing that early in this game. Keighley have just got into the swing of things.
George Fairbairn making a change. Mick Taylor has come on, and off has gone Gary Senior. So the Huddersfield coach just mixing it a little. He knows that time's beginning to run out, and Huddersfield need to score and get themselves back in this final.
They're finding it very difficult, though, to get the ball out to the try-scoring genius of Greg Austin and Daryl Shelford.
Here's Hanger, turns the ball back inside to King, who was making marauding runs earlier in this match, but Keighley have read the script latterly, and they've managed to bring him down. Big collision there by Pusil and Powell. They've made 44 metres. This is the last tackle on this set of 6. Huddersfield, the ball hung in the air, but Stoop read it perfectly.
It was a wasted kick, far too deep. No pressure applied to the fullback Stoop. They're just losing their way a little bit at Huddersfield. And then offside, no advantage gained to the Cougars. There you can see the winger there and the 2 centres. Plenty to choose from at Russell Smith. Hard times now for Huddersfield. They're really hard on the rack. But notice how Keighley get over this advantage line with ease.
The Cougars in possession then with Tupai, who straightens it up, crosses the 20-metre mark. Ramshaw the dummy half. Here's Gately. Appleby takes it over. Powell gets the pass away to Wood. Wood looking to offload in the tackle. Can't do so. Hanger was all round his ankles. Here's Powell. Powell stepping his way there. And Daryl Powell. That's the try that Keighley wanted. It's the try that Huddersfield dreaded. And Daryl Powell, his 10th of the season. How priceless might that one be?
It was only a matter of time. He called for it on the blind side. He realised that the Huddersfield defence was all at 6s and 7s. They were still making their way back into the 10-metre zone. And that, I'm afraid, is very poor defence. Huddersfield are in a lot of trouble in their defensive pattern. The step on the inside there, that is a superb try. Repays a bit of the transfer fee from the Sheffield Eagles. Well spotted. Good thinking there by Daryl Powell. Saw the defence was very slow indeed on the blind side and took full advantage.
Daryl Powell, as I say, he stepped down a division with the move from Sheffield to Keighley, but my word, he has not lost any of the pace and power, and the Cougar Army are on their feet now thanks to that try from Daryl Powell. Simon Irving then, after he recovered from the heavy knock he took early on, he has been inch perfect with his kicking. Another opportunity here, 10 metres in from touch on that far side. Hits the post this time. Just the thickness of the post away from another 2 for Keighley. 19-6.
See how Powell notices the winger is looking backwards. Takes advantage there from the open side. What a great call. Steps inside his opposite. That is a great try. So Huddersfield restart, and suddenly, in fact, over the last half hour of this match, either side of half-time, Steve-O, it's Keighley who have got a spring in their step, and they look the more likely side now. Well, they bounced out at the right moment, didn't they? Scoring a try in the early moments in this second stanza. And Nick Pinkney really did put the speed on. That was when Greg Austin went for the dummy, went for the intercept. It didn't work. But this Huddersfield defence has to tighten up. Otherwise, Keighley could run riot here.
And they are on the verge of creating history for themselves, because they have never won a final, Keighley, of any type in the game. And kicking like that from Jason Ramshaw is kicking the life out of Huddersfield now.
Full of confidence. That is well taken. He really is a key figure in this Cougar pack. Leads by example. Knows now that the job in hand is to force the pressure on the Huddersfield, hope that they make a mistake.
Dean Hanger felt that. And here now is the substitute, Mick Taylor. But Keighley are swarming all over the man in possession. The moment it's Greg Pears, he stands and gets the ball away to St. Hilaire, and suddenly Huddersfield have lost a little bit of direction. Perhaps Richards can inject something here, and now maybe Hanger can. But Pinkney and Darren Fleary, they're hunting as a pair out there. Dave King again for Huddersfield.
He's shown a lot of strength, but this Keighley defence are just forcing them basically into one-out football, and they need a little bit more inventiveness than that.
Shelford skims away from the tackle of Irving, gets the ball inside. Austin trying to go round Stoop, and he was clobbered by Irving and Stoop was Greg Austin. The try line was begging then. This is Kerry. Knock on, says referee Russell Smith. And Greg Austin can't believe it.
Well, I think he took the wrong option. Should have gone infield rather than step back on the inside.
I couldn't see a knock on there.
No, neither could I. Well, when luck goes against you.
Well, no wonder Austin was looking quizzically at referee Russell Smith.
So am I.
This is Martin Wood now, will run the ball out for the Cougars. Now, did Austin lose it as he was tackled? Yes, he did. It's a good shout from Russell Smith. Three tackles gone. The Cougars have made 25 metres, and that was a shoulder on Gately. Whoa, the big Aussie is a big lad, but he must have felt that. Appleby trying to weave a bit of magic in centre field. Look at this.
Crunch time. The big fella Dave King, left shoulder. But you just get the feeling now that the way that Darren Appleby is running the show, is running the angles.
Kick downfield, so begins another set of six here for Huddersfield. Helliwell will run the ball out. First tackle, it was 10 metres. That little graphic at the top right of your screen that appears throughout the course of this Premiership Finals day notes the distance from where the team in possession first took control of the football in consecutive tackles. And in 3 tackles, Huddersfield have made 35 metres. They might make a bit more here.
One of the few occasions that they've been able to get the ball out wide.
This is Hanger. He has been watched by this Keighley side. Hanger and Kerry. There they are, playing the ball in a dummy half. This now is Kerry. He loses the ball.
Good tackle there from the hooker, Jason Ramshaw, coming over the top. And you see Kerry, the impact, just losing control. Been a great feature of this Keighley defence.
But haven't they watched Kerry and Hanger and Austin? I think you made the point earlier. Haven't they watched them so well today?
Been a great defensive effort by, especially by the 2 centres, Pinkney and Irving. They've moved up so quickly. But you've got to be impressed with this guy, Martin Wood. When they were rocking in early in the game, he was the man that rolled up the sleeves and really started to work hard.
57.5 minutes gone, 19-6 to Keighley Cougars, who are in possession here with their captain Simon Irving. Just couldn't get away from Dave King. And in back play, Darryl Shelford is hurt. He's out of the defensive line for Huddersfield. Powell gives it to Gately, and Gately out on the fall.
Big fella not happy with it. Knows it wasn't the best option, knows it wasn't the best kick either. A lot of attention from the little halfback Steve Kerry. But the way that Powell and Appleby have combined today, especially just before half-time and just after it. It's been so impressive. They've built in confidence.
Phil Halliwell trying hard, the former Bradford utility man for Huddersfield, as is Dean Hanger. Had a couple of seasons with Lee and they still haven't pulled him down. Now they have with Ramshaw. Good play from Huddersfield. Kerry will continue the movement going. He's got support. The referee's ruled that forward. I'm not sure.
Gary Coulter just perhaps a step in front, inches in it. But I think I'd have to agree with Russell Smith, the referee. Either way, it was good work from Steve Kerry, stepped on the inside. At least he had someone in support there.
Here's Martin Wood again, darting away from the base of that scrum. Ankle tapped as he was by Greg Pearce. Made 20 metres ground though. Tremendous run from Wood. And the Cougars have lost it.
Big second rower, Cochrane, going down on the impact there. Coulter didn't miss him. Sorry lads, he said.
Only 20, Gareth Cochrane in the Hull Academy side, beaten by Warrington here in 1993. Good to see the youngsters coming through, not only Steve-O in the big league, but down in Division 2 as well.
Well, it's a good breeding ground for them to get the experience to come into the big league. It's a desperation time now, midway through this second half. Huddersfield have to try to get some points on the board, especially a try, lift their confidence.
Coulter trying to do that.
As you can see, this scrambling defence is just not allowing Huddersfield to get into swing of anything.
Now Dean Hanger looking for support out wide. It arrives with Shelford. They've tried that tactic a few times, Huddersfield. It's not really come up for them. There's good work again from Keith Dixon.
Well, that's all they've been left with, really, because of this solid defence. Shelford realising that they'd given him the option to run on the outside. It's not all just about tackling, it's also putting yourself in a defensive position to force them back in.
Ramshaw, the dummy half. Here's Fleary. Oh, he runs straight, but he ought to go with the ball, though then it was stolen from him.
He was away. He's had a big game, Darren Fleary. Strength, upper body, looks to the referee, gets what he was looking for. Gary Coulter, the culprit.
So Cougars make a little bit more ground courtesy of the penalty, and here now is Shane Tupai. Now Keighley just turns his back on the tackler.
Good tactics from Keighley, using strong runs down the middle, eat up the time, and now the link will be on, perhaps a chip over.
It's with Appleby, and the support from Stoop, just forward. Marginal decision again from Russell Smith, but my word, wasn't that invention from Keighley.
Beautiful round the ball pass there from Appleby. He's having a cracking game too. I think you'll find that Stoop was just a little bit in front. Yep. Not much in it. Been eagle-eyed as Russell Smith today.
Referee of the year, of course. Picked up the award at the Man of Steel's dinner on Tuesday night. Hope you enjoyed that with us, by the way, on the final boots and all of the season. Now here's the substitute, McTaylor, Wood and Fleary. Those two have got through a stack of work for the Cougars' cause. Pearce, quick hands. Nowhere really for Shelford to go. He just shrugs off the winger Dixon, who comes back for a second snap at him.
Well, there was a wonderful example about this Cougars defence moving up quickly out wide. Simon Irving went into that tackle, applied the pressure. Shelford didn't realise he was coming to him.
Pearce chasing his own kick upfield, but Stoop came in and claimed it perfectly.
It's mine. Notice how he brought the knees up to protect himself.
Here's Martin Wood. Support is there from Ramshaw. A last-ditch desperate tackle by Hanger. And Hanger, I think, is on his way to the sin bin. Referee searching the back pocket. Hanger's already on his way. There's the yellow card. He took 2 snaps at the tackle player.
Professional foul. Hanger bringing down the hooker on the second occasion. It was very, very late to drag on to the leg. Things are just not going right for Huddersfield now. Uphill battle. Keighley, quite rightly, take the option of adding another 2 points.
Dean Hanger on the bench now for 10 minutes in the sin bin. He's just been voted the Huddersfield Player of the Year this week. Not the happiest end to a week like that. Simon Irving now with this penalty to just increase the Keighley lead a little further. Irving then with the penalty. Irving misses it. The ball goes dead, but it's Keighley 19, Huddersfield 6. That's the way it stays. And Keighley get the ball back because, of course, it went dead from that penalty attempt. So it's a line drop out from the 20-metre line. And here's another penalty for Keighley. Dave King pushing there. Nick Pinkney to the ground second time.
He thought he got a stray boot with the big fella. Didn't like it. Just lost control. Pushed him to the ground. Either way, Keighley launched yet another attack. This is the point where you work hard at the training paddock to work out the moves. Let's see what Keighley have on to offer. Oh! Just went right in the shoulder. He just got up and played the ball. No, nothing had happened.
And they're in. Keighley Cougars in with Andy Ayres. Down the touchline. Found just an inch or two of space. And Andy Ayres with his 25th try of the season. And that will probably seal it for the Cougars now.
Once again, good thinking on the blind side. It's the hooker that saw them resting again. Andy Ayres, superb in and out. All about using your brains, and Jason Ramshaw certainly did that. Simon Reynolds had no answer for this man. Andy Ayres, in and out there. That was the impact. Beautiful try. The smile says it all.
Andy Ayres, £25,000 from Widnes in March '91. 6 seasons at Widnes, a former halfback, and this is his best ever try scoring return. Richie's brother Andy, 26 years old. So 3 out of 5 for Irving. The party has started amongst the Keighley supporters on the terraces, and it will gather momentum now after that kick off the touchline from their captain. Keighley 25, Huddersfield 6.
For the second time they've been caught on a blindside in defence. Good thinking from Ramshaw. He knows he's going to take one for his corner either way. It had to be scored as well. That was a good step by Andy Ayres.
Andy Ayres, the try scorer. What a day for the Ayres family, with brother Richie in the big one. And this is Fleary now for Keighley. Made 18 metres on that first tackle. Now Martin Wood forward. Only a mile, that one. Theirs was hunting his second.
I wouldn't want you to do my expense account. They're about 4 miles forward there, Eddie.
So Huddersfield with possession from the base of that scrum. This is Shelford. Gets the ball out wide to Barton. Barton is hauled into touch by Stoop. And hasn't Andre Stoop had a big game here?
He lined him up, went high, made sure that he couldn't have a chance to get the ball down. He's had a big game.
Played here last year in the London side, beaten in this second division final. Chapai has gone off to be replaced by David Larder, 18-year-old son of Keighley's coach Phil. And what a day for Phil Larder. Moved across from Widnes to Keighley as Barrett Richards returns for Huddersfield. He went there hoping to win the championship of Division 2. Mission accomplished. Old Trafford would be a bonus, and at the moment it's the biggest bonus, because by the looks of things Keighley are going to be taking home their first reward from a cup final ever come the end of this match.
And they can thank the man that's just played the ball. Martin Wood has had a blinder. It's been a good team effort. A bit shaky in the first 15 minutes perhaps, but once they got into the full swing of things, they lost Brendan Hill just after 4 minutes.
Oh, look at this from Appleby. In the side, because Chris Robinson is out with cruciate ligament damage in his knee. But hasn't Appleby played well? In fact, they all have after that shaky opening 20 minutes, the Cougars. That's the last tackle, it's the turnover. 60 metres made in that set of 6.
Good work from the loose forward, Greg Pearce, to cover across. That's his job, of course. The tackling stint from Keighley has been superb. And they're still eager.
Mick Taylor almost lost the scrum cap there. Little chip over the top, perfectly read. Appleby gives it to Stoop. Stoop gives it to Larder. Now Powell. Here's Wood again. Contender for man of the match, surely. Man of the match will receive the Tom Bergin Trophy here at Old Trafford today for this second division final.
He's had a big game too, Darren Fleary.
Gately with the strength, tried to get it away to the centre, Simon Irving. It was good play by Barton. He got in the way for the interception. Here's Barton again from dummy half. Huddersfield just lacking a little bit in ideas at the moment and being forced out of the match, in truth, by some excellent defence from this Keighley side. Pearce gives it to Kerry. Great defence again. David Larder, only 18 years old. Shot out of the line then. Tracking Pearce here. Pearce came up with a try from a similar thing from this last week, but he didn't have a fullback ahead of him like Andre Stoop. And at the penalty, he moved off the mark.
Talk about putting your body on the line there. The big fellow was coming in to crunch him and then gave away a silly penalty for moving away.
So it's Huddersfield who are in possession and looking for some reward here. That's Gary Coulter, so close to that Keighley line. Kerry gives it to Shelford. Great tackle by Irving. Oh, knock on. Mick Taylor.
Just hasn't been their day, has it? Substitute Mick Taylor went from dummy half, forgot to take the football. Bad mistake at a vital moment. And I think you'll find that Mick Taylor had made the big mistake, followed up with a big swing. Jason Ramshaw doesn't look all that well on the floor.
Picks himself up now, and There's another high tackle, this time on David Larder.
Big fella Dave King. Frustration beginning to creep in now, going into the dying moments. There's definitely high swinging left arm from the big prop forward King. Let's hope that referee Russell Smith keeps a pretty tight control now.
And the winner today from Keighley, number 13, Martin Wood.
Cheering in the background, and the announcement over the tannoy that Martin Wood, the Keighley loose forward, has rightly been adjudged the man of the match, and he picks up the Tom Bergin trophy. An excellent display. When things were going badly for his team, this fellow Martin Wood steadied the ship down, scored the try under the posts, and he's led by example all afternoon.
I don't think anybody at this ground, or I'm sure the viewers, would disagree with that decision. He has had a superb match.
Huddersfield are back to a full complement of 13 players. Dean Hanger has returned from the sin bin. Dixon will hoist this high kick, and it is a high kick too. Chasing after it himself, Pearce came up with it, no one around him. Slips the little pass to Austin. Austin wouldn't mind a consolation effort, but he passed it instead on the bounce to Larder.
Been one of the few occasions that the Australian has got away. Not the best pass on the inside, but at 25 seats you've got to try something.
And there's a great track back by Nick Pinkney.
And not playing the ball correctly.
So penalty to Huddersfield.
Well, it would be a nice consolation for the Huddersfield side, who, to be fair, they've given it their best shot, but they've been overwhelmed by a lot of skill on the opposition side.
Shelford now. Again, they try that little dink through, but it doesn't come up for them, although they do get head and feet at the scrum.
They've blotted him out, haven't they? Two great centres for Huddersfield, Shelford and Austin. Plenty of experience, plenty of pace. Full credit to their opposites, Pinkney and Irving. Their defence has been absolutely wonderful.
Mistake from Helliwell, but the ball went backwards, says Russell Smith. Play on. Hanger. Dean Hanger. Tell you what, Steve-o, Phil Larder and the Keighley boys won't want Huddersfield to cross for a try. This is Coulter. Tremendous defence again from Keighley, but can they hold out here? Kerry into the arms of St. Hilaire. This now is Pearce. Pearce with nowhere to go. He has to retreat. Loses his footing, and Powell just drops on him to complete the tackle. St. Hilaire again.
They've been at each other all the game, haven't they? Greg Pearce and Daryl Powell started out explosive. They're still at it.
Here's Hanger.
Got to feel sorry perhaps for Dean Hanger and the loose forward Greg Pearce. They've given it everything, haven't they?
Little dink through, and it's so close. And I just wonder there when the second rower, Gary Senior, was held back by the Keighley man doing the tackling.
Should this have been a penalty try? I think it should.
Touch judge and in-goal judge,
I think he'll give it.
are conferring. No. They've had a chat and they've decided it's a tap on the 20-metre mark.
Well, it appeared to me that the second rower, Senior, was impeded there. Referee Russell Smith was in a good position. And we do have the in-goal judges also.
Daryl Powell again. Picks himself up, plays it to his hooker Jason Ramshaw, gives it to man of the match Martin Wood, who keeps the movement going. Here's Appleby again.
He's been a thorn in their side, hasn't he? Little whippersnapper runs on the angle, confuses the defence.
Cleary with a strong run too. Well, they're now 2 minutes plus anything the stoppage. The timekeepers add on for stoppages away from their first ever trophy in a cup final. Ramshaw, his second drop goal of the match.
What an enormous kick. That must have cleared by 20 metres. An amazing one-pointer from the hooker, Jason Ramshaw, who's played his part.
(26-6). Ramshaw, it was a massive drop goal. They kicked off quickly, did Huddersfield, because Keighley was still celebrating. The ball bounced in the field of play and went dead. So Keighley have to drop out from underneath their own posts, and Huddersfield, in the shape of Halliwell, will run this ball back at them.
As you mentioned earlier, Keighley will be keen to make sure that Huddersfield don't cross for a try. Their coach Phil Larder bases a lot of his coaching ability on the fact that defence has to be solid.
Oh, clearly on Coulter. That sums it up. Sums it up perfectly. Watch this.
Crunch time. They've worked for each other. Been a great win for them. And the club finally gets some silverware.
Yes, silver from a cup final. They've never won the final of a knockout competition before. They've won the third division title. They've won the second division title. This, though, a little bit of a special day for everyone concerned at Cougar Park, and well done to them. He's had a good game. As we said earlier, they started shakily the opening 20 minutes, but then it has come so good for Keighley. Lost Brendan Hill with a torn hamstring after just 4 minutes. It was a big blow, and for a few moments it looked like their day was going to turn sour. Huddersfield were playing so very well.
They've all played their part, especially the Keighley forwards.
Hanger, sin-binned earlier for not letting a man get to his feet, was walking a tightrope then. Here's Pinkney, gets away from Shelford. And the second time, can't get away from Pearson Barton. Last tackle for Keighley. They've made 50 metres. Good think over the top from Dixon. Well claimed by Halliwell. Gets the pass away to Hanger. Dean Hanger with a bit of pace. Can he get away? Can they feed out wide? Andre Stoop with a try-saving tackle. That sums Keighley up. There's the final siren. And Andre Stoop, who played in a beaten final team 12 months ago, comes up trumps this time for Keighley Cougars. Highly deserved. 4 tries to 0. It tells its own story. David Larder is due a drink off his dad later tonight, I fancy, at the celebration. And there's Martin Wood, the man of the match, whose performance lifted Keighley. Phil Larder, a very proud coach, the man in charge of the Cougars. He and George Fairburn shake hands. But the Keighley Cougars have come up trumps. They win the championship and the Premiership double in the one season.
Way to end a great season for Keighley.
That's right, yeah, it started back pre-season as early as May for us, and we worked extremely hard for this, yeah.
And yet, in the opening 10 minutes of this, you really didn't look as though you'd arrived.
That's right, we've got a lot of young fellas in the side. I think it took a little bit of time to settle down. We prepared very well for today. We stopped over fairly close to Old Trafford, and like I say, there's quite a few youngsters in the team, but once they settle down, we really turned the style on.
we said that defence would win us a game, and we stopped them from scoring, and obviously we'd always score tries with players like Nick Pinkney, Andy Ayres, Darryl Powell, Darren Appleby on the side, so we knew we'd always score tries.
Tremendous.
I feel very proud of what we've achieved, and I think the guys that went out there today are really top footballers, and they've deserved everything that they've achieved this season. You don't win what we've won without putting in a lot of effort, and they've put in a lot of effort.
Oh, it's tremendous. I mean, it's something that you always dream of, and it's, you know, it's been a great end to our season.
What was it, just to Andy, what's it like to score a try in front of 32,000?
Incredible, you know. Guy can be a great ball, you know. I just run for the line. It was excellent.
Yeah, enjoyed the occasion. Good have firm ground, playing with a good set of lads.
Back up well, don't they, Des?
Yeah, they do. Play well, play for each other. So that's why we won today, I think. Good defence.
You must be fed up on the